So, this is Charleston. You say hi.
Hi.
One question I get a lot from people with younger families are, like I'm 4 kids, 6 and under. Our house is organized chaos all the time, or not so organized chaos. Our house is just chaos all the time. How in the world am I gonna teach my children anything? And I think that is a really good question. And we have 4 kids, 6 and under, so I feel your pain. But I think really the younger years of raising kids they're just really physically intensive and time intensive, and you're doing a lot of training and things that you don't see the fruit for maybe a long time. When you're training toddlers, you're sleep training them, you're training them to obey, you're body training, you're doing a lot of training, but you don't see the fruit necessarily. But I think once they become school age, all of a sudden, these kids that used to be really crazy become really fun, and you get to see their personalities develop, and you get to see they become really likable. You start to like them. But sorry, I lost my train of thought. You're distracting me, Charleston. I like you so much. Anyways, so my mom had 10 kids in 18 years. And when my husband and I had Charleston right here, we asked my mom when she was over helping us, just kind of casually, I said, what was the hardest period of parenting? You gotta be quiet. What was the hardest period of parenting for you? And she right away said, oh, hands down, when I had 3 kids, 5 and under. That was the absolute hardest time. That was harder than having 10 kids, 18 and under. Those years when it's so labor intensive and no one can do anything without you, those are really hard. But then all of a sudden, once you hit 5, your older kids start, they kind of start being your helpers, and they help reinforce what you're doing with the younger kids. And we see that now with our baby Truman. We're training him to like obey when we call him, and so it's like a whole family group activity. You know, our 3-year-old and 5-year-old are teaching him how to obey right away, and it's a big group activity. So I think when you're in when your oldest is 4 years old and you have a bunch of little kids, you think this would be a terrible idea for me to take on another responsibility like homeschooling, and it doesn't stay crazy in the same way. Yeah, and you really get to learn together. You get to I think there's something about having the order in your house of a routine that you're doing every single day with your kids breeds a lot of familiarity for them, and a lot of I don't know, there's something beautiful about routine. Yeah, so we still have lots of young kids, and our house is crazy sometimes, and we pick up like 18 times a day, and it's still always messy. So I'm not someone who has figured it out, but I think it doesn't stay the same. And so yeah, I don't know. It gets easier and it gets different. Yeah, I don't know if I even answered that question.